So Lexus and Toyota recalled certain 2020 and 2022 Toyota and Lexus vehicles. And what is this all related to? 1 million vehicles seems to be a lot, and that is only in the United States. And in Canada, it's approximately 100,000 vehicles. So let's get to it and understand what this recall is all about. Hey, it's LSF here today, and today we're here to look at a 1 million vehicle recall from Toyota. And this involves Toyota and Lexus vehicles. And we want to understand why this recall is happening and what part is it related to and what are the symptoms, and I'll go and try and find more information about it. And because it may be too early, Toyota and Lexus probably haven't updated their recall database yet. But let's look at it and see what we know at this point. Let's start off with the press release in the United States. So it says Toyota is conducting a safety recall involving certain 2020 to 2022 Toyota and Lexus models in the United States, and that is approximately 1 million vehicles. So they don't have exactly what the number is, but they're saying about 1 million. So here are the model years. So if you're an owner of one of these, you should go and check out if you actually have this recall or not. So the model year for the Avalon and Avalon Hybrid 2020-2021, we have the Camry Hybrid 2020 to 2022, Corolla 2020-2021, Highlander Hybrid 2020 and 2021, RAV4 Hybrid 2020 and 2021, the Sienna Hybrid 2021 model year. So the Lexus, you can see that the ES250 2021, ES300H 2020 to 2022, the ES350 2020 to 2021, the RX350 2020-2021, and RX450h 2020 and 2021. So when you look at all these vehicles, you can see that most of these vehicles are actually not built in Japan. Okay, so the ES is built in Kentucky, the RX is built in Cambridge, Canada, and the Avalon, Camry, all of those vehicles are actually made in America. So is this recall just purely from this manufacturing? I mean, the supplier is actually impacted in just North America. I haven't really seen any recalls in other markets other than Canada and United States. So it may be a supplier that is providing incorrect specifications, or there's a problem with the part. Okay, so let's see what it says about the part. So it's saying that the subject vehicles have an occupant classification system, the OCS sensors in the front passenger seat that could have been improperly manufactured, causing a short circuit. Okay, so you know when you sit in your car, when there's a person in the passenger seat, and if they're heavy enough, you would actually see an airbag sign. And if you put like a heavy laptop or something heavy, and it would actually still light up, but then it's saying it's not heavy enough. So then the airbag will not deploy. So there's a sensor on that seat, and that's the part that is having the problem. So they're saying that probably if you're sitting in the seat, the car does not detect that you're sitting there. So touch wood, if there's any issues, if the airbag needs to come out, then it would not come out because it doesn't detect that you're there. So that's the problem that we're seeing here. So there's this occupant classification system. Okay, it seems to be a sensor. I think they call it differently in different parts. So what it's saying here is it will not allow the airbag system to properly classify the occupant's weight. Yes, so that's what I said. And the airbag may not deploy as designed in certain crashes, increasing the risk of injury. So definitely this is a safety problem. So for all the involved vehicles, Toyota and Lexus dealers will inspect the OCS sensor and, if necessary, replace them for no cost to the owner. For all involved vehicles, Toyota will notify customers by the middle of February 2024. All right, so it's saying that information about the recalls, you can go to this is a standard text that they have. And when you look at it, you can go in there and look at it. But I went to the NHTSA. They haven't updated this yet. So maybe a few more days we will see it. So at the time of the recording of this video, there is no information from the NHTSA yet. And Toyota.com recall, I haven't been able to find a VIN number to test, but in Canada, I've actually tried with a Lexus vehicle and there's no information. So let's move over to the Canadian press release to see how many vehicles and then look into more details about this recall. Okay, so I moved over to Toyota.ca and here we have the same recall in Canada, the 2020-2022 models, and they're saying about 99,965 vehicles, so not almost 100,000, but not there yet. So we continue to scroll, you can see the exact same model years, same explanation of what it is. So it seems like a carbon copy. They just updated the links and that's it. So let's move over and see what else there is. So since we're talking about recall, there's actually another recall that was issued on the same day, December 20th. Toyota is conducting a safety recall involving certain Toyota vehicles, and they're saying at this time it's the 2022-2023 model year for the Toyota Corolla Cross, and that's about 3,812 vehicles in Canada. We don't sell a lot of cars in Canada, but 3,812 for 2 years. All right, so when we look at this, it says the subject vehicles were previously inspected under a prior recall. Due to a problem with the inspection process specified by Toyota, the inspection may not have identified certain vehicles requiring the remedy. So meaning the original recall, they actually had steps for the dealerships to go in an inspection and they found a problem with those steps. So meaning they may not have found the remedy or any problems with a certain vehicle. You may need to go back and have it looked again because they're saying that what they did before was not right. Okay, the front passenger airbag may not deploy. So a similar situation for the other recall, but this one is different. As designed due to a manufacturing error in the instrument panel where the airbag is located. Okay, so as a result, the vehicle may not meet certain federal requirements and could be at risk of injury in a crash. So another recall, related to airbag this time, but this one is a little bit different. So let's see what else it says here. The dealer will re-inspect improved process and if necessary replace instrument panel at no cost. Until the vehicle inspected and the remedy is performed, if necessary, Toyota recommends that no one sit in the front passenger seat of an involved vehicle. So this one is more I would say sensitive and more of a problem than the other recall. They're recommending that no one sit in the front seat in the involved vehicle. All right, so they're saying that they will issue about mid-February 2024. Okay, so similar time frame, and what we're seeing here is the Corolla Cross having a recall. I'm going to go back to the US and see if they actually have the same recall in the US and how many vehicles are actually impacted. All right, so now we move back to the US and we look at it and they actually have the exact same recall again, but this time it's 12,600. So you can see the size of the US market and the Canadian market, right? So 3,000-ish versus 12,000. So exactly the same thing. They're saying that the front airbag, and they also have the same thing. Until the vehicle is inspected and the remedy is performed, if necessary, Toyota recommends that no one sit in the front seat of an involved vehicle. Okay, so if you own a Corolla Cross, now you have a 4-seater and not a 5-seater, and you will be the chauffeur. You can do it as an Uber. So most Uber Corolla Crosses are fine because nobody sits there, right? Well, we'll see. Now let's move on and look at the information that we get on the other recall to see if we can find more information or not. So I found on another piece of news is about talking about something else, about a different Toyota company, and we actually found something about this recall. It says it's been a rough week, a tough week for the world's biggest car maker. Toyota recalled about 1 million cars in the US at risk of faulty passenger side airbags. And they're saying that the sensors in certain Toyota Lexus vehicles and SUVs could miscalculate passenger and prevent airbags from deploying when they should, and the company said in the statement, right? And they're saying that Aisin Corp made the faulty airbag sensors that forced Toyota to recall in the US. Okay, so they're saying that this part is actually made by Aisin Corp, which is another Toyota company. Follow me on Instagram at LSFT Videos. You can see updates on my experience with the NX450 Plus, which may not be shown on any future videos. You can also reach out to me via direct messaging if you have any questions on your Lexus. If you like this video, you can provide me feedback in the comments below, like this video, and share it with your friends. This definitely will help me with the YouTube algorithms. Press the subscribe button and bell icon and get notified when new videos show up. And lastly, if you want to support me further, you can provide me a super thanks, which is greatly appreciated. And now let's continue with the video. Move over to iSend's website and you can see on December 21st, they actually have a notice here, notice of recall notification equipped with iSend group products. So clicking on the link actually just brings you to this. And in here, it actually says notice of recall equipment with iSend group products. So it doesn't really say a lot. It only says that in December, our customer submitted recall notification. So our customer, which is Toyota Lexus, right? So they have recalled notification vehicles equipped with iSend group products to National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. So they definitely have submitted information, but we haven't seen any information there yet. So it is difficult in a reasonable estimate impact on the financial performance of this event. So meaning Toyota most likely are actually putting it onto iSend on the recall because they don't really know. So, but again, it's a Toyota company, so left pocket, right pocket, I don't think it really impacts them as much. It actually impacts the whole group overall. So right now we're on the NHTSA website. I put in the 2020 RX350, just one example, and it says there's one recall. But this recall, if we go scroll down and look at it, it's actually not related to this recall. It's November 4th, 2020 on a fuel pump issue. So I'm just going to continue to go down and look at a 2021 Lexus RX. And let's see if we can look at the 350 and see if we see any recall. So there's again one recall, but this recall, if we look at it, is something different. Transport hook may damage the fuel filler pump pipe. So again, a different recall. So it seems like this recall has not shown up yet, and probably later on we will see it. But at this point, we haven't seen any recalls, so there's no recalls on the 2020 RX450H. So really, no recalls at this point. Nothing that we can see in the NHTSA yet. So maybe a few more days, we will see more information that's been uploaded. So I went to my local dealership and tried to find a 2020 Lexus ES350. So I took this VIN number and tried to see if they actually have a recall notice for it or not yet. So 585 meaning this is made in USA. All right, so let me go into the Lexus website and see if I can find any information on the recall or not. So going to the Lexus recall, and you can see here, I put in the VIN number and it says that there's no outstanding campaigns. So at this point, they have not updated any information on their database about this recall yet. So if you're an owner, I don't think you'll actually find any information until a few more days. So you'll have to hold your horses and wait for them to actually update it and provide more information. Even so, you probably would be not getting much information until February when they actually release those letters. And by that time, hopefully they have all the parts they need to fix the vehicle. Alright, so I switched over to the parts.lexus.com. So this is a good place to look for the parts of your vehicle. And this right now is an RX350. Its VIN number starts with a 2, which is really US made RX, year 2020. And we can see here, this is the picture of the parts for related to airbags. And you can see here in the seat, there's actually this part, the 89952 part. So in here, if I click on it, you would actually see this is the airbag passenger presence module. So they call it differently, right? In the press release, they say occupant presence system, and this is the airbag passenger module. So this is like a $462 sensor. So if I click on it, let's see if we can see more information. So you see here, it says for the RX350, 350L, 450H, and 450L. So it says the airbag occupant detection module. So it says if there is a present airbag, persistent airbag, or SRS warning light, the problem may be that your seat occupant sensor. So the Lexus technician will occupy. This is just talking about the sensor when do you need it replaced. But I believe this is the part that needs to be replaced as part of this recall. So what it fits, there's actually 79 vehicles that it fits, and it's just different variations, different years. So you can see that this part's been used since 2016, but they're only recalling 2020 to 2021 models. So meaning during that time, there was a manufacturing issue. And again, this is COVID time. Probably something happened during that time which caused the manufacturing process to have issues. All right, so again, a $462.71 MSRP in US dollars to replace this. So this is not a cheap recall, even though Lexus and Toyota would be getting this in a much cheaper thing. But if we have to say how much this recall is going to cost, it's a big number. Hopefully that you found that this video was informative, and until next video, drive safely. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please comment, like, share this video, and if you want to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel and press that bell icon to get notified when new videos are posted. And if you'd like to support this channel, you can provide me a super thanks. And until next time, cheers.